There never seems to be a dull moment in the city of Philadelphia pertaining to the media spotlight in which Saquon Barkley got done just yesterday having some conversations specifically with ESPN that may have added fuel to the trade fire, which most Eagles fans at this point we want to avoid it. Hello, y'all. Again, this is Lindy end zone for the touchdown, taking the lead for the Eagles one video at a time. And while I do not share the same worry of AJ Brown in another uniform, it doesn't help matters that the situation has not cooled down, nor do I think it's going to anytime soon, especially in regards to the draft coming up when we have a GM in Howie Roseman that can certainly be a smooth operator in the business department of draft day trades. What isn't a secret is the level of frustration that we know of with AJ talking about the lackluster performance for the offense as a whole. And while you can argue AJ definitely contributed to that with moments of seemingly out of character, half hearted efforts, the entire offense suffered the same fates throughout the season where I do not blame him at the same time, despite winning football games. Going back on it, the very first game to me felt like a repeat of 2023 all over again, and I still feel that the 2025 season flowed and ended the exact same way with a team playing well below expectations and favoring one side of the ball to suffer, which we all know the side I'm talking about by now. So to bring it back to present time, Saquon Barkley has made an appearance on the NFL Live program to talk to Dan Graziano on some of the changes the Eagles are going through, dropping excitement gems about Sean Mannion and the system he is bringing to the team, in which Saquon is fully embracing the challenge, calling it exciting. Then, in another moment, when asked about it, uh, began speaking upon the elephant in the room on everyone's mind for the entire AJ Brown situation, saying, quote, I do not want to speak for AJ Brown, love him as a teammate, as a brother, but he is a huge Patriots fan, unquote. And here we go to ensue the increased panic of speculated unhappiness of AJ as an Eagle. Saquon continued talking about his childhood fandom of the Jets, sharing that with his father and was able to move on from it. Further explaining, AJ had a moment in that season to play catch with Tom Brady, he believes, before the Cowboys game. It was then mentioned in regard to the Dudes on Dudes podcast where Julian Edelman says, quote, we're all patriots, unquote. AJ Brown gave a wink in that moment. AJ later saying he was trolling about that, then Saquon talking about it as well to speak on it, that saying it is all fun and games. However, the next part isn't a 100% worry free moment to me. Uh, it is said by Saquon answering to Dan that he does not think the Eagles fans should be worried about AJ going anywhere. And while we understand there is no guarantees, anything can still happen for the nature of the business. Although we know AJ Brown is locked into Philly contractually through the 2029 season. If we take the Patriots situation, for example, they didn't exactly position themselves very well when trying to lock in a number one caliber receiver outside of a fringe Stephon Diggs coming off an ACL injury at 31 years old, paying him upwards of $60 million over the course of 3 years. With AJ's well known fandom of the franchise, the disgruntled attitude on the surface, a steady past relationship with Patriots first year head coach and Mike Vrabel, New England is by far one of the best fits for AJ to be sent to. But as we know in the nature of business, feelings and happiness don't always take first considerations. If we also think about the fact that the very next season, after the Eagles traded for Brown, they were in a grudge match of a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs in AJ's first year on the team, and can now say he is a champion 2 years after said first appearance. From what we have gathered from AJ up to this point is a consistent narrative of wanting to win at the highest level. And the Eagles have been able to accomplish that during his time here. But at the same time, it's easy to say he also wants to be a big reason why that happens on the offensive side of the ball, where overall struggle has come in 2 of the last 3 years. Stability comes in many forms, and him being dominant on a winning team is one of them. The Patriots are starting to show a similar promise with the younger Drake May at the helm, led by Mike Vrabel, who AJ has already played for in his NFL beginnings, not to mention one of the greatest play callers in Josh McDaniels. And while we understand to this point so far, there could be some promise lying in the Eagles' new offense going forward, with Saquon already talking about the excitement that he shares with what Sean Mannion is bringing to the table. We don't know how the entire scope of the offense is going to look at this point. At this point, at the start of the new year, so far, the draft has not come yet, and a bunch of other things have to be taken care of. So there's a lot that has yet to be seen, and even being whether AJ makes it to that point or not. It's kind of it's a hard conversation to have at this point, obviously, uh, but still, I mean, it's just things like this where the collection of Eagles fans is very broad. It's very colorful with opinions and how we approach our overall thoughts of the team. So for something to be sticking around as long as it is, where the Eagles have arguably two number one receivers, although a lot of us don't like to put Devontae Smith in that category, where I absolutely do. There's the people that talk about, can we afford to lose AJ? Is it okay to let him go at this point? And just the attitude, concern, and everything else. So it's just we got to get to a means of an end somewhere, and whether he is on the team or not, it would be nice to have some sort of concrete answer outside the fact that he's still signed to play for Philly through 2029. But again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, how the nature of the business goes, and for how we know Howie Roseman as a GM, really anything can happen. So let me know in the comments how much stock you put into AJ Brown being traded as a whole, and would the Patriots be the number one destination? Uh, be sure to check out my other content as well, which is also posted on Hardcore Sports Network, where you can also find my touchdown talk series coming back. And yeah, that was a great stream. So thank you all for sticking with me to the end of the video, where the final score is Fly Eagles Fly. And I will see you all next time. Take care, everybody.